My name is Gina Trapita. I got my real estate license in May of 2022, and then I fell in love with Keller Williams DTC, so I joined in June of 2022. The first few months I was doing it part-time while also having a full-time job, and it was difficult because the full-time job was obviously where the money was coming in initially, and it was just like a set routine and kind of what I needed. I had my first deal, and the day of the inspection, I woke up and turned to my husband and was like, "Can I quit my full-time job today?" Life outside of real estate, I was a newlywed, so my husband and I were really just kind of getting our lives together and off the ground. I was here at the office. I had a big full day of work, an exciting day. Went home. He was working until 7 p.m.-ish. So I went to a cycling class, heated up some dinner, was waiting to make food for him. And I sold my first house, and so I got an extra wedding band, like with the commission check, and he got a moped. He was on his way home from work, and he had like a right of way, and a car went and didn't see him and hit him. He wasn't home, and I was like, oh, it's a little weird, but you know. And then I got a Nextdoor app notification, and it was like, what's going on at 32nd in Lawrence? There's all these like police officers and first responders, and I was like, what the heck? That's weird. So I looked at his location again, and he was at that intersection. And so it was like the worst 2-minute drive of my entire life. And I got to the intersection, and there was a car there, and the scooter was there, but Taylor wasn't there. And so they directed me to the hospital, didn't really give me any information. They told me that he died at the scene, and shockingly, they got his heart working again in the ambulance, and that he was in emergency surgery. And they weren't sure, you know, what it was gonna look like. Progressively over the next 72 hours, they found out that his brain went too long without blood and oxygen. When he died at the scene, he was on CPR for about 20 minutes, and he progressively became brain dead over those next 3 days. He was an organ donor, so it made it really easy, because all I had to say was, yes, he is an organ donor, and that was what, you know, we never had to pull the plug because they did it. It was based upon when somebody needed his heart and his kidneys and his lungs, not when I said, okay, like we've said our goodbyes. Bob, Janice, and Pam mentioning that they were reaching out to DTC Shares and they would be able to help, and in your mind, like, you just have no idea what that even looks like. The world doesn't stop just when something like this happens. I remember when I was on the phone with Shirley, and she had mentioned that I would be getting one of the grants, and like my jaw just dropped because I couldn't even think of what I was gonna put the money towards, because there was just so many things flying at me and decisions to make and things to do. And it was like a little cushion of like support and like holding my heart, because I didn't have that. Like everything that I had, it seemed like just dropped away. Bob and his family were incredible. Everybody in the office was reaching out to me almost daily. I heard from people and received support from people that I hadn't even met yet. Whenever I would come visit Bob, I had stacks of cards from the office, and it was so special because I was still so new, but I really felt like it was, and everyone hates when you say a family. You know, like you always are like, there's no way it's actually like a family. But it was these people who didn't even know me who I felt so connected to. The grant itself was life-changing. The grant actually paid for his entire cremation, and then part of the memorial as well. And the memorial was the most amazing thing. There were over 300 people there, which we weren't expecting, and it was like the most beautiful way to show our love for Taylor and his family and me and my family, and like I said, like it wouldn't have been able to have happened without the grant. Life is me and my 2 dogs, you know, sitting out at the ocean and just thinking about Taylor and the good times and the people that love me and loved us, who didn't even know us, and a lot of that is Keller Williams.